We are against Jews. We go against people. You of Liberia is dying all the time. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. The flag of Liberia is dying. Show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation, Liberia. The red on the flag is forever. The white on the flag is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue is for black people. We know Liberia is our home. The Declaration of Independence was done in 1847. 11% of people we are known as First Republic. The Lone Star shall be nevermore. It's flying, show your allegiance, show your loyalty to this nation.
Liberia.
If my people who are over, we humble themselves and seek my face.
Welcome to the show, fellow Liberian. Welcome to Bitz And Pieces this afternoon. It's on a Thursday afternoon, and of course today having to be the 30th of April, the year is 2026. Welcome to the show. Welcome to another fascinating edition of the show this afternoon. We'd like to say good afternoon to all of you, wherever you are, and how best you go about listening. Welcome to the show. A lot of issues to talk about. I mean, a lot of things happening. The politicians are making their case, and those in government, they're doing whatever they feel, they can do. But a lot of issues to talk about this afternoon. We'd like to say welcome to all of you. Those of you watching via our social media page, we urge you to share the live. If you're watching, leave a comment in the comment section. We acknowledge that you're watching this afternoon. What are the issues and who are those we intend to talk to this afternoon?
The white on the flag is for purity. The star is for republic. The blue is for black people.
The political leader of the Alternative National Congress, Alexander Cummings, has pledged to forgo his presidential salary if elected president 2029. Tension has erupted at the Phoebe Hospital as workers threatening shutdown. We'll talk about this development that coming again from Phoebe Referral Hospital in Bond County. Senator Edwin Melvin Snow uses President Bwaka's dog statement to throw jabs at Bong Electoral District 2 Representative James Colette, who earlier said the bombing senator isn't normal.
What's in unity, we will build our nation. Ever, Liberia, ever,
Vice President Jeremiah Coon says the strength of the army is not just the men who got in arms, in the armed forces of Liberia. Rather, we got 2-3 men. Them in the country that can enter any country and capture a whole city. We'll talk about that. He's coming. You listen to the vice president as well on the show. Former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf
I pledge allegiance on the flesh is forever. The white on the flesh is for purity. The star is for republic.
D-Crash, the state of Monrovia, says the city is dirty. We'll have some time to talk about, some of the statements she made. I mean, she has also criticized Columbine explosion. The former president, has criticized Yeke Columbine explosion. And she has cited free speech. In her mind, that was Yeke's right. And there was no need for Yeke, to have been expelled by the House of Representatives. We will talk about that as well. And so a lot of issues to talk about this afternoon. It promises to be, a very fascinating one, like it has always been. And so welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you watching the live, share the show, invite others to join the show, and let's have a very friendly conversation this afternoon. And, welcome once more. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Bitz And Pieces. It's on Voice of Liberia, 104.1 and other frequency across the country. And so the cash giveaway is on. Today is Thursday. I'm giving out 15,000. I'm giving out 20,000. And I'm also giving out half bag of rice. I'm giving smartphones as well. So today you need to play with just $200. You put in your bet and play with $200 Liberian dollars. By dialing star 799 star 8 hash. 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 Play with just $200 Liberian dollars. So let's get 5 persons to play quickly before we move on. Let's get 5 persons to play quickly. By dialing star 799 star 8 hash. By dialing star 799 star 8 hash. Put in your bet. Play multiple times and let's go. Star 799 star 8 hash. Keep dialing star 799 star 8 hash. Put in your bet. Play multiple times and let's go. Let's acknowledge a few of those watching. And those of you watching, just leave your comment in the comment section. We acknowledge that you're watching. Jackson Newboy has joined us. Stanley Sharif says, I'm already seated in class awaiting Brother Fure and Massacre. He says, Vinicius Junior Bad has joined us. Stanley Tito Junior says, good afternoon, my viewer family. I'm following you up from my residence in Kawa. Thanks for the information to our country, Mama Liberia. Samuel G. Bonos has joined us. He says, welcome. I'm watching. And Man Tonianson says, I'm following live from Broadville. Thank you for the job you do for us. William Debbie Wulu says the Liberian Civil Rights Movement official spokesperson is watching live from Upper Kawa, Monrovia, Liberia. He says, good afternoon, Brother George. Stanley Sharif says, good afternoon to the peaceful citizens of Boyetown, Pokpa District, Grand Cape Mount County, Western Liberia. I'm Stanley Sharif watching from Broadville. Juju Wonwe has joined us. Welcome to the show. Hezekiah Joke has joined us as well this afternoon. We'd like to say welcome to all of you. And, I want to do quickly before we go, Hezekiah Joke, I want to do a happy congratulatory shout out for you. The 5th of next month, you'll be walking out of You'll be working out of the world of your university in is it Israel or India? It's in India. You'll be working out with masters. That's great of you, and I mean, I'm super proud. I'm super proud of you. Congratulations in advance. So let's move on, fellow Liberians, and I want us to begin with this statement made by the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. And I want all of us to listen to this statement, and then we'll move on with our analysis. And we'll also give you the time to phone in and provide your analysis. We will have at 3 o'clock as guest the chairman of the CDC COP, Mayu. He was arrested and detained by the Liberia National Police during the protest organized by the Vanguard Student Unification Party. This will be his first appearance following his release. He will sit with us this afternoon. He will take some of our hard questions. Isaac Wule Junior has joined us. Isaac, welcome to the show. Never Peve. Hey, Nev, long time. How you doing? Former Deputy Director, Never. How you doing? Welcome to the show. And let's listen to the Vice President. I want us to listen to the Vice President. Let's listen to the Vice President, and then we can move over our analysis. Let's go.
Look, I hear people say, yeah, the people that are used military, blah, 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 blah. That's fighting for society. I can also kill 3% get cross in the morning, the chapter 1% in some country. Yeah. No. What? How does this happen? It is wrong. The gunfire and Abdullah. It will be happening way in Lofa, or we'll start shooting one. The war will be more here and more out. Look, I hear people say, yeah, the people that are used military, blah, 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 blah. That's fighting for society. I can also 3% get cross in the morning, the chapter 1% in some country. Yeah. No. What? How does this happen? It is wrong. The gunfire and Abdullah. It will be happening way in Lofa, or we'll start shooting one. The war will be more here and more out.
And so you listen to the Vice President comment regarding the AFL and Liberians. The Vice President of the Republic of Liberia have said that the strength of our army is not just the men who got in the armed forces of Liberia, but according to him, we have about 2 to 3 men in Liberia that are not in the armed forces of Liberia that can enter any country and capture a whole city. Imagine such a statement is coming from the Vice President. I think the Vice President is not being advised well. I want to believe that the Vice President should not even be having radio appearances. He should leave from the microphone. Just forget about honoring invitations from media institutions when you're not good in that space. Allow your media people to go and do the media work for you. Because listen to the statement that the Vice President, imagine a Vice President of a country to make such a statement, especially where we have an issue with Guinea. And this one, the legislature will not act. They will not say nothing about it. Because Jeremiah Kun is the vice president of the country. And such a man is allegedly masterminding the removal of another person for their part of view on the scene Liberia Guinea border thing. But he comes and says that we have 2 to 3 persons. But he don't want to call names. That they can. And what it does is that it even undermines his office as a vice president. And that was miscalculated. That was completely miscalculated. And the vice president, in my mind, did not do well. It highlights a deeper issue within the leadership of the country. It shows that something is lacking. It shows that, the issue of leadership is lacking. Imagine a vice president of a country making such a statement that hinders, national progress. And I think the kind of leaders we elect now the way they think sometimes can have serious consequences on the growth and development of the country. And Jeremiah Kun's statement is one of those statements that, have the propensity to affect the country, to affect the growth of the country. It undermines the peace and stability of the country. I don't want to say, based on a statement from the vice president, he's not informed or he's poorly informed. I don't want to say so. But in my mind, he's not being advised well. He needs to be advised. His advisors should sit with him and have been informed of some of the issues happening in the country and how to respond to some of those issues. Because it weakens our foreign policy. That's a serious national security risk. It even makes the country vulnerable. Look, let me say something to you, fellow Liberians. Sometimes when our leaders are making the kind of comments, let's engage them, with facts. Let's tell them the reality. Because sometimes, God forbid, what we don't expect to happen. When it happens, the people, they have what it takes. They have the resources. They will leave. You and myself will stay at the end of the day. You will die. And these people, they have all it takes to leave the country. So when they're making the kind of comments, let's condemn them. How dare you, a vice president of a country, to be making such a comment? And people say, oh, nothing wrong with it. We should celebrate the vice president for such a comment. In my mind, it's completely wrong. And the vice president should be called to order. The vice president of the country should be called to order for making the kind of comments. You think the vice president of the country will be making the kind of comments? And other international partners will even have credibility in the country? Other government donors and partners, don't you think they will lose confidence in the country? Oh yeah, now the people will be afraid because the vast part of the country went on a public medium, and so we get people here that can enter in a country and bring down the whole city. 2, 3 persons, but you don't want to call names. There is serious issue. And every time the vice president appears on a public platform, he's always making all kinds of comments. He's always contradicting himself. If he's not putting us in trouble with another country, he says something that will get people disappointed, that will get people disenchanted. Imagine a vice president of a country. So when you start to make that kind of comment, then you're making it even more harder for the government to be able to negotiate aid, to go out there and find, partners to come and help. Or to be able to get regional support to the country. Oh, during the election, the people making these kind of comments, they were the same people here telling us, oh, they will bring in investors, they will bring in companies, they will do this. Why it is true that we are yet to see some of the investors or some of the investment taking place in the country? But we have our vice president making the kind of comments. And then we think by making the kind of comments, it's okay, it's fine for us as a country. His comment has the propensity to discourage investment in Liberia. Because no investor will want to come into a country where leaders will be making the kind of statement that has the propensity to undermine the peace and stability of that country. Because the investor, the first thing they want to look for a stable area. So in so doing, we should be able to have, competent leadership. Yeah, like people fought the war. We agree. But as a vice president to go on a public, radio and start to make those kind of comments, and people want to celebrate him because, he says so. We need to be serious here. We need to be honest with our leaders. We need to be honest to our leaders. Let's say to them the reality. No, let me say something to you. There are other leaders who, they like people who are real. Sometimes, I mean, just take off time, move to, I mean, your leader place and be real to him. Oh, chief, this statement wasn't actually good, but it wasn't actually good. Hope that you prepare the next time. But because you're getting a kind of hand up from the president, so you don't want to say to that person the truth. You don't want to say to that person the reality. And that is bad. It's taking us nowhere. When you start to make the kind of comments, even your citizens, your people, they get afraid. They lose that faith in the government and your leadership. I know there are people in this government who are even dissatisfied with the some of the comments the vice president made. Who are even dissatisfied with some of the comments the vice president made. And so, what I want to say to all of us before I move on, because this issue of James Coley, I want to talk about it too a little bit, and then I'll move on and take a few calls. Let's try to be honest. And to the office of the vice president, let me say this. The vice president have an advisor. That advisor needs to improve on his or her roles as an advisor to the vice president. Because you cannot have the vice president every time, he's going and making blunder every time. That's not fun for our country. That's not fine for our country. What it does, it shows that kind of bad image of the country. And that is completely wrong. You can't have a vice president making the kind of comment. It's completely wrong. And we want to condemn that in a stronger possible term. In my mind, the statement from the vice president was completely wrong. And I repeat, it was wrong. And our vice president should not be making that kind of comment. But let's listen to this from Councillor Tiawan Gonglo. He has something to say in response to the statement from the vice president. Let's listen to this.
But also for Nimba to be mindful of statements and acts. In Liberia and Guinea go to war today, it will be because of the statement, because that statement has escalated the problem. It has created emotions in Guinea. If one nigga makes a statement, we don't care. One nigga made a statement that could be in Guinea. That statement meant nothing to me. But when our elected officials at the higher places of government make a responsible statement, reckless statement, inflammatory statement that have the potential of undermining our peace and security, we as alternative leaders.
Tiawan, how did Tiawan describe his comment? How did Tiawan describe the comment of the vice president? Let me get his point.
They can be the statement that could be in Guinea. That statement meant nothing to me. But when our elected officials at the higher places of government make a responsible statement, reckless statement, inflammatory statement that have the potential of undermining our peace and security, we as alternative leaders in this country must be concerned. And that is why I've taken a position today at the monument of light in darkness. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Okay.
The vice president again.
Oh, okay.
Responsible statement.
All right. So You listen to Tiawan Gonglu. They're strapping the comment from the vice president as reckless, irresponsible. But that's it. No better way to place the thing here, my people. Because it's a bad precedent for even our future leaders. Very bad precedent. These are things that lead to normalizing ignorance in high offices or office. We need to condemn that in the strongest possible term. Let's move on. You know, the chairman of Rules, Order and Administration at the House of Representatives, James Coley, described Senator Snow as someone who has not been normal, simply because Senator Snow had to disagree with the decision from the House of Representatives as it relates to the explosion of Representative Yeke Caldwell. And so he went as far as saying to Senator Snow that he's not normal, such a president is not a normal president, and all kinds of stuff. I don't even want to play that here. But look, let me say this. James Colette needs to understand that he's going too far. Not in the right trajectory. He's setting a very bad precedent that nobody want to see and live after. And the next thing he said was, you know, through all Snow life, he has been living on the cover of the country. But look, let me say this quickly before we go to the lines. I mean, I don't know whether sometimes Representative James Colette would just say things because they want to say, or they say things sometimes and they come back and contemplate or start to contemplate about some of the things that they've said. And on a very serious note, James is becoming to be, you know, a disgrace. In fact, he has turned to be a disgrace to the people of Bonk. And I want to say that without regret or whatever. Because a man who had nothing, absolutely nothing, a man who had absolutely nothing, or zero man, that another representative, who's now a former representative, Edward Kafia, facilitated your campaign when Moy was leaving his district in Pong, district number 2. That meant they all he could. You have absolutely nothing. That meant they all he could. He used his resources. He did everything. He provided you a vehicle at some point in time. Very old vehicle you are using. You are not living that better life when you became lawmaker. So how are you making life now? This is a man who have never worked in the private sector, who doesn't even understand nothing about the private sector. But he comes and want to say all kinds of things about people. Senator Snow responded. But I'm only saying this thing because the kind of attitude this young man has, exhibited over the time. This is the same man who pressed into the office of the former speaker, who was used, allegedly giving some little sum of money to do that. This is the same man who is roaming all around the place and doing all kinds of things. They, you want to move Yeke Koluba? They're moving they're expelling Yeke Koluba. They're doing this and doing that. And he feels that he has the moral to say to someone, so how now you living? How are you making life now? You started living better life when you became lawmaker. And if any serious government that will come to power, Chinkule, you will go to jail because of what you've done. Since you became lawmaker, the burning of that Capitol building, you should have been investigated at about this time. You took the chairs from that place, and that same night you took the chair. The same day you took the chair that night, the Capitol building got burned. You didn't just stop there. You burst into the offices of the former speaker when he was still a speaker. You guys, you were all around the place. For over 6 months, 6 to 7 months, you are claiming to be chairman of Roots Order Administration at that time. And you are taking home the salary of Roots, or you are getting your benefits, or the stuff were coming to you, you were controlling it. With few of your colleagues. Up to present, some of the guys who supported Kofa, who were with Kofa, they are even yet to receive their benefits. But James Colette will come and say all kinds of things to people. But Snow had this to say in response to James Colette. I just decided to say this to let the public know that Colette is not a serious man and should not be giving, that credence. He's not a serious man. Someone who's living that the kind of life he's living now at the detriment of the people. But this is what Senator Snow said. This is what exactly Senator Snow wrote this morning. So let me read it, then I'll go to the line. I'll take a few calls. 8 o'clock, 3 o'clock rather. We have for the Massacre is the chairman of the CDC COP. He will be our guest this afternoon on the show. Snow writes, if you are going to your destination and decide to throw stone at every door that barks at you, you will never reach your destination. And so I will not respond. Snow writes. And it reads, if you are going to your destination and decide to throw stone at every door that barks at you, you will never reach your destination. And so I will not respond. Let's acknowledge the few of you who just joining us, and then we'll go to the lines and take few calls right here this afternoon. Alexander M. Dollar says, good morning, Falls of Liberia. I'm following from the USA. Jackson Pemi Gate has joined us. This person, Tokbasi, Loti Tokbasi, has joined us. Eton Pokuyu, welcome to the show. Philip LG Detua has also joined us. Welcome to the show. We can go to the lines. The cash giveaway is on. Let's get 2 more persons to play quickly by dialing star 799 star 8 hash. By dialing star 799 star 8 hash. By dialing star 799 star 8 hash. Play 2 times. Play 2 times and let's move on. Star 799 star 8 hash. You keep dialing star 799 star 8 hash. I'm giving out 10,000. I'm giving out 15,000 Liberian dollars. And I'm also giving out bag of rice. I'm giving out phones as well. So put in your bet, star 799 star 8 hash. You keep dialing star 799 star 8 hash. We'll take few calls. And as soon as it is 3 o'clock, we'll usher in for the massacre. For the massacre is the chairman of the CDC COP. He will be our guest this afternoon. Let's go to the lines and begin taking the calls on 0773 419 502, 0773 978 564, 0773 419 502, or better still 0773 978 564, 0773 419 502 are the numbers that put your voices through right here this afternoon on the show. Let's go to the lines and begin taking the calls. Good afternoon, welcome. What's your name? From where you call? 30 seconds.
Good afternoon, Mr. White. Now, you and Levi sitting and this afternoon for you continue to practice.
Levi, go.
Well, Mr. White, you see, still I don't know what that president is thinking about 1.3, 1.2, and stuff more than so. But it's still the back president. I'm glad you see that president. I'm not. Well, let me finish. When I started blacking people, the math people are not doing that president for the country, but every time you come on the radio. I mean, you were always there kind of and you said it there when you were saying without something that kind of English there, when you continue to the country. It's so sad for our country, my brother. That's it.
Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Okay, this person. Hello. Oh my word. 0773 419 502, 0773 419 502, 0773 978 564. This person, hello, welcome.
Good afternoon, my friend.
Good afternoon, welcome to the show. Let's hear you. What's your name, from where you join us?
I'm Timothy Mo, calling from Red Light.
Mo, go ahead from Red Light. Let's hear you. 30 seconds.
First of all, thank you for this show. The issue regarding Senator Snow, I think what Representative Colette said was just a summary of Snow behavior. Snow has undermined 3 successive governments. It was Snow and other behavior that led to in jail. It was Snow behavior that led to Brian in jail. It is Snow behavior that made Judge William pass around with the kind of disgrace that he's getting today. Snow is there a scholar and a lifetime honor manner. He doesn't like peace. So to be on that show and if you can't take it in, he's going to be disappointed in your show. Snow is a wicked Liberian politician, you see. So,
all right, thank you.
Damaging Liberian character in level of effort.
Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name, from where you join us? Go ahead. 30 seconds.
Johnny, I'm alive.
Go ahead. You are live. Let's hear you.
Yes. The National Chair for Observation for Justice.
Dave, go ahead.
I am joining you from your partner. I do not have a finger, but because of the time, I will try to call in. Can you bring me up the screen as it relates to this afternoon?
Go ahead quickly.
I am saying, your partner. I do not have a finger. So because of the program time, can you bring me up to see after the discussion?
Oh, you just joined?
Yeah, I just joined. He was there.
Yeah, my man. Then you you miss it. Oh?
Yeah.
We're discussing the comment from the vice president.
Oh, okay.
Regarding the 2 or 3 men. Okay. Anyway, let's take another person. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm okay. Is it patient?
Yeah, patient for tomorrow. Member of the Patient
Patient Nagde, I'm on the hair. Let's hear you.
My brother, the same way President Walker can still useless. And the same way Jeremiah can just go for still useless. You can go back to the thing of the big issue. I'm not going to say the thing of the big issue. Then why Jeremiah made us say why they calling for questioning? Why they coming on for questioning people for such a statement? If that person is Jeremiah or somebody in the opposition, why not bad person in the opposition banana and I'm calling for questioning or putting out to one of them? They're going to go and simple to that person for go central for questioning. Why have you done it? They couldn't say it, but they can just work for a speed. Why you need that? You get 3 or 4 men. You get 4 or 5 men. Why they don't go to the border? Why you go to the border? If you get 3 or 4 men, why they don't go to the border?
Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. You are live. Make a point.
Money, our gold. Okay. And what the dividend the people eat the various times are getting, they are getting nothing. The people are saying you live on creek.
Okay.
The people do not have good roads.
All right.
And the people are taking a mini road with nothing. So you have a bad president that will be lying to the people like the way the president does, and you want the liberal people to believe those people. Like they're waiting for the time. The time will soon be now.
Thank you. This person, hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Okay, let's bring on this person. Hello, welcome. You are live on the show. Make a point. Let's hear you. Man, CC, go ahead.
Georgia, what I have to say is that what to expect from the vice president when he was told by the president to make that statement?
You said he was instructed to say so by the president?
In my mind, I speak my mind.
No. I don't want you to say that yet, please.
Okay, George.
Jeremiah kuna vice president, man, baby. Go ahead.
All right, George. Yes, the vice president went to the radio and made such a statement. Have you ever heard about the government of the statement?
But if the vice president will allow himself to be used by other people to make the kind of comment, he should be held reliable for whatever that happened, because I said uttering that kind of statement. So let's hold him responsible and not others.
George, hello.
Go ahead.
Let me come out. So George, you listen to the vice president when the vice president was saying that I've been used by the president almost every day. For everything that happened, if Joe Braga would be vice president, do you know that the vice president will leave on the president? That's why the vice president made a statement that they get to see make like an interview when no other official will come to a statement on social media or any other platform.
Thank you.
And it will be successful people and the people of the Liberia. That's all we have to say.
Thank you. Let's take this break. When we come back, we'll welcome to the platform our guest for the massacre. For the massacre, the chairman of the CDC-COP is our guest this afternoon on the show. We'd like to say welcome to all of you joining us. Share the live. Invite others to join the show. Let's take this song. Where is it? Let's take this song quickly. I mean, those of you calling, please. We're not taking calls. Yes, we're not taking calls. Let's take this song quick to be right back.
Make you no cause me a let go, because I don't know how to cause you back. But remember, say, if you pass me, another man pass you too. Man pass man, oh.
The song is entitled "Man Part Man." It's a nice song. I mean, a wonderful piece right here this afternoon on the show. We'd like to say good afternoon to all of you just tuning in. Welcome. This is Bitz And Pieces. It's on 104.1 in Monrovia, another frequency across the country. And so let's take down this piece and welcome to the platform our guest. Like I said earlier, our guest is Fode Masakwe. Fode Masakwe is the chairman of the CDC-COP. He's our guest this afternoon. But the cash giveaway is on. Two persons play two times using just $200 to play. And then you win some of the prizes we're giving out. We're giving out $10,000. We're giving out $15,000, $20,000 as well. So put in your bet, *799 *8 hash. Let's go. *799 *8 hash. Play with 200. And let's go. Let's welcome to the platform our guest. Fode, good afternoon. Welcome.
Let me begin by appreciating you. And we'd like to say thank you for the opportunity again.
Okay.
We want to appreciate the millions of our people in Radio Land. It is our first media, especially radio appearance.
Okay.
After some time now. So we actually look forward to an interesting and inspiring conversation.
Yeah, sure. How are you? How is Fode?
But I'm trying. I would say trying. But I believe we are surviving. You know, Brother George, we are in a country today that almost everyone is angry. Almost everyone is bothered. Almost everyone is troubled. If it is now basic economics and social deprivations, it is emotional. West of us, we are in a trying time that democracy has died in Liberia. When democracy dies, it tells you that the country is in a moment of torment. So we are trying, we are surviving. It's not just me. It also goes down to the thousands of other mothers, market women. As I speak to you now, the government has a plan. Ministry of Commerce issued a memo yesterday. The government has a plan to ban all selling by the roadside. So no Liberian will be allowed to sell by the roadside. The government has that plan. So we are in a time that things are not okay. So everybody's just trying. We are trying. Fode is trying.
Let's move on. The other day, I mean, you were arrested by the Liberian National Police. I mean, you were beaten on by the police. You were, dragged and in fact detained or jailed by the LNP. What did you do that led to the police beating you and putting you in jail?
On April 14, 2026, we joined the Vanguard School Unification Party to march for job and justice. That protest was a very public one. The government of Liberia was notified according to the law. You notify the government because Article 17 gives the ultimate and constitutional right to anyone, any group of Liberians, to peacefully lawfully at all times assemble to petition their government. So SOUP organized a march for job and justice. As a matter of fact, 90% of the Liberian people are jobless in this country. So when they talk about job and justice, it's for everyone. The magnitude of injustices continue to permeate under this government is very alarming. So we thought it was to endorse the April 14 March for Job and Justice. But before that day, we were told that we have been declared as a threat to national security because CDC, COP.
And you did a post.
Like I told you, we have intelligence everywhere. You know, like I told you, there are so many people angry in this country. Even top national security, people who sit in national security meeting, some of them are angry. They feel all with factual information about the state because people are angry. So many people are not happy with the former man on the way President Buhari and the Unity Party is misleading the country. So we were told that we have been declared as a person of interest, national security, to the extent that a shoot to kill order by President Buhari was issued. This is not alleged, this is fact. That is why I was told on the 13th not to go to the protest. So many people. No, I won't tell you my source. So many people call me for it. Do not attend the protest. Please, we beg you. You know what I told them? I said, no. Why? Why should I not attend the protest? For it, you could be killed and nothing will happen. I said, yeah, my blood will be used as a fuel to inflame a bigger revolution in this country. You can kill my one, but you will not kill hunger. You can kill my one, but you will not kill mysterious death. So I went to the protest, being fully aware that the president of the country had sanctioned the death of a very innocent and harmless young man whose only crime is to advocate for the Liberian people. So I went to the protest realizing that I could be killed, and the least one was prison or death.
But what crime did you commit? I mean,
so the crime I committed is a crime that so many other Liberians have committed. We are calling for jobs. We are demanding for justice.
You term that as crime?
Oh. In the book of the Unity Party, and because the last time I checked, I've never, ever in my life committed any crime under the law. I've always been one person who believes in the true tenets of democracy. When you accuse me of a crime, I believe we should go to the rule of law. To tell you that I committed absolutely no crime. That is why when we are lawfully arrested, under our law, when a citizen is arrested, you must charge the person and send him to court. You saw the police sending out to court? No. We were unlawfully arrested. The only crime we committed is because we came out to exercise our constitutional right enshrined in Article 17 of the law, and the government of the day think that it is a crime for people to even call their government to order. So our only crime is because we are Liberians. Our only crime is because we want job, because we want justice. It is not for us. It is for the thousands of other women's, mother, young men, people who have graduated from the university, but there's no job. There's no availability of job. That is our crime. But you see, that's not what pains me. You know what pains me most?
Go ahead.
It's not my arrest. Because you all saw, but the one you all saw on TV, that was small one, I was stripped naked.
Oh, by the police?
In Sierra, and as a matter of fact,
by whom?
It wasn't even one. Were many. So you have 19 other militants from the Vanguard Unification Party. We all were stripped naked. They were beaten. We were tortured. To be specific, me.
That's a very huge allegation.
No, that's not allegation. You saw the police.
Are you telling us you were tortured?
Hey, you saw the police beating me. You saw the police manhandling this sister. You see a female here? They've been dragged. There's torture. On an international fundamental human rights, there's torture. A female, two officers holding her, dragging her on the ground. There's torture. On camera, they were torturing. So imagine what happened to her behind the scene. We were tortured. And guess what? On the Nimfude massacre, we're very personal to the Liberian National Police. RG Como sent the spokesperson of the Liberian National Police, and the current spokesperson and came on the phone. I want to talk to Ford Massacre. Well, Ford Massacre, I have to change my name and say I said my name was Divine Massacre because that's my nickname. For the fear that I couldn't be placed in another separate era. We were tortured, brother. We were beaten, we were treated like common criminals. No food, no water. And for some of us, it couldn't be possible to eat a food of people who torture us. And you know what? Do you know why we refuse to run? And do you know why I would never run? People who actually know me, they are very aware. I'm a very fast runner. If this country could be a serious country, I could have won on the Olympic medal. I'm a very fast runner, a very fast runner. But you know why I refuse to run? Because I committed no crime under the law to run from the police. We're marching on the road. Yesterday, President Bouaké protested in this country. He marched on the road. Nobody arrested him. Millions of other people in the party protested. So I weep and I bleed and I cry for democracy. What kind of country we are? That the people who protested yesterday, now when youth and students come out to ask for job and justice, the president ordered Gogre Como to shoot live bullet, tear gas, arrest harmless citizens, and torture them. So
now that it is clear that you and others were unlawfully arrested and jailed by the Liberian National Police, what next? You come from an institution. What next?
You saw the multiplicity of condemnation from the international partners. The war is concerned about what happened on April 14, 2026. We want to assure you that. So the CDC Council of Patriots, the institution I'm privileged to hear, they went and petitioned the American embassy, even when I was in prison. They petitioned the American embassy and they called for immediate sanctions on Gogre Como because, mind you, Gogre Como, as IG of the Liberian National Police, had killed more innocent Liberians than malaria have done in the last 3 years. Yes, fact. The Liberian National Police officer shot 17-year-old Favor Morris to death in Broadview. James Panda, a 15-year-old school-going kid in rehab, was shot to death by another Liberian National Police officer. The Liberian National Police commander in Oro, Ricky Ross, he beat a pregnant woman, a 6-month-old pregnant woman to death in Oro. The Liberian National Police shot a man called Matthew Moluba in Congotan, where the police claimed he was mentally ill. A mentally ill man was shot more than 7 times in the chest to death. All of these deaths, the Liberian National Police also carried on the Kinjal massacre. 3 Liberians were shot to death. So when we say the Liberian National Police, I killed more innocent Liberians than malaria. It is fact because you know why? When you come down with malaria, it is possible you can take pills and you can take antimeter, you get well. But when the police senselessly take gun and shoot you in the chest and you die instantly, it can have a cure. So Gogre is a dangerous murderer. So the CDC COP think that Gogre Como and his code of officer must be sanctioned. The global Magnitsky sanction, that's one. The CDC COP also called for the cancellation of the MCC compact. You know, Liberia won between 500 million from the MCC compact, right? One of the fundamental requirements of having the MCC compact is that you must be a respecter of the fundamental tenets of democracy. And one of them is the right for people to freely assemble, the right for people to criticize the government, the right for people to demand accountability. Ordinary citizens in come or and say, President Bouaké want job and justice, you get fear, you order Gogre Como to shoot us. Why in case Americans that are not here, American taxpayer money, over 500 million should come in the country? For the government, no. So in a government that refuses to respect democracy and the tenet of democracy, you don't need MCC compact. So the CDC COP call for that. And you see, people will be sanctioned. Sanction is on the way.
I mean, to the protest, 40. I don't know what sort of conversation you had with the organizer of the protest. did the guys receive their permit from the LMP, to come out to protest? Because I mean, few others from our sources within the police, they've said to us that, I mean, the student were not given, the permit, and they were not to come out. That's why, I mean, some of you were arrested.
And let me say this to you, Brother Josh, and let it go to all of the top officers in the Liberia National Police. It is extreme ignorance for anyone to think in their mind that the Liberian people will need permit from any police to exercise their constitutional right. It is extreme ignorance. That is what the law says. The Constitution, because as a matter of fact, Article 2 says that the Constitution is binding. That is the biggest law that everyone must abide by in the country, right? Article 2, right? This is the Constitution is binding, right? So, Article 17 of our law says that it is the right of citizens to assemble peacefully at all times. Brother Josh, where in the Constitution can you find you must get permit?
But that's a mandate for the government.
No. A mandate.
Are you telling us that what mandate comes from the government?
Brother Josh,
the people should not abide?
No mandate for any government. It's more than the Constitution. The Constitution is bigger than the government. Because you know why? It is the Constitution that gives life to the government. The so-called mandate that can be talking about in the Reverse Police Act. You know what that law says? That law says notify the government. Brother George, I'm challenging you now as a journalist on the tenets of the ABC. Act the Liberia National Police. The Revised Police Act talk about before you protest, you must notify the government. How does people notify the government? You notify the government through press release, through letters, through public information. The April 14 were interviewed by Voice of America, VOA. This was a no secret rally. So, Brother Josh, the police hiding behind permit is a foolish way. It is ignorant to think that you can teleguide the people, that you can control us. No Liberian citizen need permit to protest. Protestation is a constitutional right that the only responsibility of the government is to come and protect the citizen. So let's agree now. Nobody asks for permit. As a matter of fact, nobody need permit. Nobody need permit to protest in this country. Article 17 guarantees that when you organize yourself, when you are peaceful, when you are orderly, you come out to petition your government. Because you know what? That whole permit will be hiding behind. Because they know if the law could have said get permit for the protest, nobody going to get permit. Then they will have argument of being wicked or being insensitive. So, Brother George, here's what the government did. The government were aware, notified the government. The government feared that day that due to the multiplicity in the population, the huge turnout of the March for Drop and Justice, if we could have reached intent, the whole city could have been locked down. So the government wickedly, on the order of President Boake, felt that we should not come intent. That was why they started to shoot live bullets, tear gas, and unlawfully arrested peaceful and harmless young people who under crimes is to say, President Boake, we want job. President Boake, we want justice.
Quickly before we move on, to other national issues, what you expected of the police that you did not see?
I expected the police to be late. This is, as a matter of fact, this is the police on the United Party, right? And there's the police on the George Weah feeding protesters. Who tell you the police on the George Weah didn't have issues? There were challenges. But there's the police on the George Weah feeding protesters. You see the police here. You know, yesterday people who insult our ordinary people. For us, our politics, Brother Josh, is on the basis of irrefutable fact. And that is why people fear us. And I'm aware people fear me. People only fear me because I come to the discourse on the basis of the evidence of the issues. I expected any serious police to do this. Yesterday, we had a police on a Patrick Sidu. Well respectable, well considerate, But you see, in this country, we like to vilify dangerous people. Gogwe Komo, who have killed more innocent Liberians than malaria, because Gogwe Komo wears new uniforms, wrap on lip gloss, wear new shoes, where thousands of the other police officers makes less than 150. They are nasty up in the street. Nobody is responsible for them. But people believe that because Gogwe can wear uniform, he's flamboyant. So Gogwe is a good police officer, even though he's dangerous. Look at the content of police. The police have turned out to be very vendettic. It is brutal. It is partisan and harmful. This is what we expect of the police. Oh no, Josh, we are. You fair protester. We are not asking for feeding. You see here, a protester here. We are not asking on the government of today to feed a protester. We are asking the government to allow the constitutional tenant to function. But unfortunately, the government refused. But this is not just about the police. It's about how the commander-in-chief of the country. It's about how President Walker has turned out to be a tyrant. The president of the country.
You think so?
No. It's not I think so. He has done so. He has proven so. President Walker has turned out to be a tyrant.
You listen to the vice president. What do you make of the vice president recent comment? I know we will test down, bit by bit, some of the key areas in his interview. But I want to know from you, maybe like 2-3 minutes, what you make of the appearance of the vice president.
Let me just say this to you. Vice President Jeremiah Kwankun is a living embodiment of contradictions. He lies from the both sides of his mouth as if he's drinking water. And the vice president says one thing and does absolutely a different thing. This vice president went to a show on state radio, attacked the entire business community. The vice president said that the business community is being run by foreigners. That is a big, black, diabolical lie that the vice president should not be saying. You know why? As foreigners have overtaken our economy. That is being un-Liberian and un-vice presidential. You know, we are all condemning the xenophobia in South Africa, where people believe that South Africa should be owned by South Africans. When the vice president sits on the radio and says that foreigners have overtaken the economy, foreigners doing this and foreigners doing that, the vice president complains we are solving the issues. Then you ask, who is the vice president? This is the vice president who, whenever he has an opportunity to negotiate deal between Liberians and foreigners, he gave the deal to foreigners on the Yellow Machine contract. ABK, a missionary company in Liberia, the bid was very solid. Guess what the vice president did? He gave a more higher bid and left the lesser one because it was a Liberian company. The vice president rejected and sought a Liberian company, ABK, missionary company, and gave the Yellow Mission deal to a foreign Chinese company. The vice president did that. That's why I said, oh, the vice president owns a storage facility in Nimba, Ganta. You can take your phone now and call them. That storage facility is being run by foreigners because the vice president does not trust Liberian. That's not all. The current Putu thing, the vice president is the one in charge of the negotiation, right? A Liberian company was to be the favorite, to be the one to supervise the process in the Putu because that negotiation worth multi-billion dollars. You know what the vice president did? The vice president gave it to another foreign company again called Planet One. So, Vice President Jeremiah Kwon is a man who enjoys the comforts of foreigners. He benefits from them because whenever they give him shares, he benefits from them. So, he's a selfish man who works for foreigners when it benefits him, but other people should not work for them. That is a contradiction. So that's why I say the vice president is is a living embodiment of contradictions.
You think
he lies from the both sides of his mouth as if he's drinking water.
You think the economy of the country is not into the hands of the foreigners, like the vice president said?
When I say contradiction, I mean in essence, the vice president should not be talking that. He should be ashamed. Because you know what? The question or the answer to the vice president is, who placed the economy of the country into the hand of the foreigners? You know that who? It is the Unity Party. 98% of all the foreign and multinational concession in this country, 98% of the concession of natural resources in the country were negotiated by the Unity Party. Unity Party, 98%. So meaning in essence, 98% of the natural mineral resources mismanagement in the country, it is the result of the Unity Party. Who in power now in the Unity Party? That's not all. Let us come to today. The vice president is complaining that the economy is being run by foreigners. Who gave the driver lesson in the lesson plate to foreigners? The vice president of the Unity Party. As a matter of fact, that was an unconstitutional process under our law, the transport out of this country. It says, the 1973 transport out of the country, it says that all transport documents must be the responsibility of the Ministry of Transport. Under this vice president of the Unity Party, that constitutional responsibility of the Transport Ministry was circumvented. It was stolen from the Ministry of Transport, given to a Lebanese company that is run by Hezbollah. As a matter of fact,
you term the decision of the government as stolen?
Oh, when the law says Transport Ministry should produce lesson plate, the executive took that responsibility through an executive order. That is stolen because you know why? A constitutional decision being made by the legislature cannot be undone by an executive order. So it was unlawful, it was unconstitutional, it violated the Constitution of Liberia. The Transport Ministry was created by the legislature. Who created the Liberia Transport Management? It was an executive order. So that process was unconstitutional. Brother Josh, the law in this country, other laws have been violated 193 times. Hey, remember, anytime I can get because on a daily basis, the Unity Party administration continued to bastardize and disrespect and urinate on the Constitution carelessly, and nothing is happening. That is how the country goes to war. That is how countries go to anarchy. We do not want war. War is a very dangerous thing. We want peace. But for peace to reign, people must start being very insincere and contradictory. So like I said, the vice president of the Unity Party took driver lesson from Liberians at the Transport Ministry and gave it to Lebanese foreigners. Do you know how many Liberians now just sit in their offices as furnitures at the Ministry of Transport? Open your phone line.
It said that the vice president is not the right messenger.
No. Hey, I'm one person. God is not making no Jesus Christ for right message. I don't believe in that slang. No, I never. There is always a messenger. Who you call red messenger or bad messenger? Unity Party were in this country for 12 years. Unity Party advocated against CDCF for good governance. Who asked whether Unity Party or the red messengers? No. I have never believed in that slang. God can use the devil. Remember, God used Saul, right? Saul. God used Saul, a man who persecuted Christians, to preach the gospel. And at the end of the day, when Saul became poor and became one of the fearless disciples and apostles of Jesus Christ, who went far and carried the message of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So there is never a bad messenger. What I'm saying is that the vice president is a symbolic and living contradiction. Again, in this country, this very same vice president, under our law, the current printing of ID cards, biometric card, that country I was giving, they were giving to who? Foreigners. So you see, the vice president continued to prove that he is extremely irresponsible. He lacks understanding about governance. when you are vice president of the country, especially a vice president who now is the de facto president, we are seeing that today Liberia has so many co-presidents because we have a presidential character who is ill. He suffers from dementia. We all know. And when you are old, and there is a saying, they say, I know twice a child, once a man. And the president is extremely old. He suffers from dementia. He cannot remember things quite well. So that's normal. We understand. So we have more than 5 to 6 different co-presidents in this country. The vice president seems to be one of the co-presidents. So this vice president will be shoving the issues after 3 years. What about the vice president saying these are things that United Party say in opposition? After 3 years, the vice president sits in the government that gives priority to foreigners. As a matter of fact, guess what? And the procurement law of this country says that 25% of every governmental procurement, 25% should go towards Liberians' own business. And guess what? United Party have failed to even get 3% out of the 25. 97% of United Party procurement processes, those deals are given to foreigners. 97%.
So now, what is the issue with the vice president in regards to his comment that the economic now is into the hands of the foreigner? What should be done? What are your recommendations?
My recommendation is the Liberian people should remove the United Party. The Liberian people should get angry with the United Party for the fact that the same man who took the pakana and put it in somebody's hand is talking to the pakana in the man's hand. How did the pakana got in the man's hand? The vice president in the United Party has given our economy to foreigners. 97% of the procurement process and the procurement deals of this country have been given to foreigners. Majority of the big contracts, yellow machine, foreigners. Putu Mountain, a multi-billion-dollar deal, foreigners.
Are you
our travel lesson, foreigners? So it means the vice president has admitted to the Liberian people that United Party came to create more trouble. Oh, yesterday we had some challenges here. Yeah. Well, there's no perfect government. That is fine. But United Party came to quadruple the challenges. Yesterday, we saw we are introducing and prioritizing the liberalization policy. That has been stepped on the carpet. You have never heard United Party mentioning about the liberalization policy. The policy that gives rise and credence to Liberian-owned businesses, of Liberians solving their own issues, of Liberians taking jobs, of Liberians getting the big companies. The United Party is not doing that. So the vice president is a living contradiction to the reality, and it is a shame that he even admitted that.
Are you one of those who carry the conviction that, the vice president giving, if the time is given to the government, as being a vice president who comes from the business community, he can handle this thing with the foreigners, especially those doing business in Liberia. Mind you, this is the vice president who heavily campaigned, during the 2023 election and said a whole lot about this same thing that, we'll get it straight, we'll rescue and all kinds of stuff. Are you one of those who carry the mindset that, this thing can be handled if time is given to the vice president to handle this?
I'm one person who sees things critically. I disagree with the view that the current vice president is a businessman. I disagree.
He comes from the business community.
Yeah, listen to me. I disagree with the view. So the question is, what is the successful business? The question to you and any other one, any other Liberian. What is the successful business that the vice president have ran before people say the vice president is a businessman? Who can tell me the business? What is the name of the company? And when you talk about Aliko Dankante of Nigeria, you talk about on the Dankante group. When you talk about Musa Ability, you talk about Screamer Oil and Gas. We can need businesses, Brother George. Brother George, I am not of the view that the vice president is a successful businessman. The vice president is a man who has been engaged into questionable businesses. Remember, this vice president was being accused of being a boyo who deals into human part selling.
That's an allegation.
That's an allegation. That is why it must be investigated and proven that he's not. Until then, We hold that constant. So until people mention the name of the company and the business that this vice president have run successfully, a legitimate business, I disagree with the view. The vice president is not a successful businessman. That's the first thing we have to
he operates stores, shop.
We must understand the name of the business, the successful business, that the vice president is associated with a legitimate business. Then we can start to tell what is the magnitude of beginning and the magnitude of success. So on the so-called thing that the vice president can settle business and economic issue in this country, it is not true. Until a man who have been processed, who have been proven that George knows how to play music on the radio, then I can agree that George can play music. So you must have a history of process. What is the process? You know what I say this? I say this on this note. The vice president is a dangerous opportunist who exploits business for his selfish gain. I re-emphasize.
You think so?
I re-emphasize. A dangerous opportunist who exploits business deal for his selfish interests. Look around the vice president. Majority of the people who you see around, these are people who have been involved into some of the questionable businesses of the vice president. This man has not built anything legitimately national that we have seen. So you know what the vice president usually do? The vice president is in the habit of looking at business opportunity and exploit it for his personal gain. The vice president went to taxpayer money, he constructed a clinic. At the end of the day, he started to do illegal operation, with an unqualified doctor, medical doctor, who killed more than 4 to 5 persons in Nima County. Their families were venting their anger. I think it should be the E&J Memorial Hospital in Nima County. It is there. So when we want to take that dangerous history, that dangerous medical history of a medical doctor who were considered to be unlawfully practicing in this country, he killed people. Now allegedly he killed people. He ran away from the surgery being done in the vice president business office, his hospital. So like I said, the vice president is a dangerous man who exploits business opportunity for his selfish gain. That is why whenever the vice president goes to negotiation table, you know what he do? He usually asks for his interest, his share. What is the Kun's benefit? So Kun has never ever been in the interest of the Liberian people. Well, tell me one time, he could have been in politics for long now, right? He was lawmaker, senator. He has been in politics. Tell me when last you saw Kun protesting and standing up for the Liberian people. When last? Apart from campaign time. When? Kun has never ever stood up for the Liberian people. Kun is a selfish, egoistic bigot who is about Kun. One, it is about Jeremiah Kun, his son. You see, he cares about the business community. This man cannot be at a point of wanting to infuse division between the foreigners and the Liberians. Because when a vice president made this kind of statement that, oh, foreigners have overtaken the economy, that is a threat. You know how it's a threat, you know? Because this vice president has almost all the intelligence in the country. Meaning, why in case a Liberian citizen gets angry now and say, look, we're going for all the Lebanese students we attacked today because the vice president says these are the people who are controlling our economy. So the vice president was very dangerous. He's actually against the business community. Vice President Jeremiah Kun is a dangerous man who, once he's not exploiting people and perpetrating them, he go against you. And that is wrong.
If I'm not mistaken, this should be his second time stressing on this thing. With the foreign business people in the country. I mean, what do you think that the vice president will continue? I don't want to say an attack to the people, but why do you think the vice president will continue to stress out the issue and is not being resolved? But every time he's bitter about the foreigners in the country and making business.
Well, apparently, the vice president want to monopolize the business community, where he would be the one puppeteering, where he would be the one, because, you know, like I said, he's a dangerous opportunist who exploit business opportunity for his selfish gain. I have said that more than 5 times now. So it tells you that I know the man. Yes. This man, we have been reliable too. Want to also get into the oil and exploration business. He's scoring it. Working with another group of foreigners again, a group of Ghanaians wanting to create a oil and gas company. So, when people want to be extremely corrupt, they hate competition. So when they monopolize on the particular sector, it automatically gives them a way to enrich themselves. So that might be another reason. We are also being told he is also working with another group of foreigners to have a share in the ongoing Putu Mountain. He will have a share and percentage in it. So he will definitely get angry when you see a group of Liberians organizing themselves, wanting to get there. So like I said, for Kung, it is about Kung getting richer to consolidate power. He has absolutely no interest. As a matter of fact, the same Kung who say foreigner and taking over the economy, like the same Kung government giving driver lesson and lesson play to foreigner. Contradiction. The same Kung who say foreigner and getting more empowerment and business deal, like the same Kung to the yellow machine. The unlawful, unconstitutional, and double yellow machine, and the government took an unlawful loan that violated Article 34D. That loan was never sanctioned by the executive. It was never sanctioned by the legislature. An unlawful loan that the same Kung to the yellow machine did and gave it to foreigner. So the vice president is a dangerous and living contradiction who lies at the both sides of his mouth as if he's drinking water. The man should not be taken seriously. The man continues to prove that he's incompetent, that he is responsible. Like we saw the man very well talking about how you get 4-5 men who can carry war.
We'll come to that.
All right.
We'll talk about that.
All right. So before we reach to that, on the business deal, my brother, we all know in this country, the structure of the politics in this country is being built around foreigners owning the country. It's not something you can solve with your mouth. Now, radio can stop it. It should be through inactions.
You think this government can handle this?
No, the government cannot handle it when the government is giving contract, when the government is giving lesson play and driver lesson to Lebanese company. How now?
What you want done now?
What
you want done now?
The thing that the government should be doing, if the government is serious, the government should be solving the issues. To solve the issues, the government will immediately, effectively cancel the lesson play in the driver lesson contract with the Lebanese company. Give that to a Liberian company. As a matter of fact, a Liberian company used to run it before. It's a better judge. In front of Liberians, a Liberian company used to run that before. Even the passport in this country has been prepared by a foreign company, a foreign Ghanaian company. Even the passport. So people must stop talking. When you are in opposition, you talk the talk. When you sit in power, when you control the 3 branches of governance, it is about how you solving the issues.
You think the vice president is
creating more issues?
You think the vice president is sounding like someone who's in the opposition?
The vice president is sounding like a man who is aware that he's going to be former vice president at a very young age. He's going to be former vice president in 3 years. He's sounding like a defeated man who is frustrated. He sounded like a man who has absolutely no solution to the problem because the Liberian people know the problem. But George, a K2 student is aware that the country, the business in this country, is highly manipulated and controlled by the foreigners.
You think the vice president at about this time should be telling us what
we are taking this company? We want to tell the Liberian people that we have taken on this particular service from a foreign company and give it to a competent. You see, the argument should not be just about antagonizing foreign people. Because you know what? There are certain expertise and certain jobs that only foreigners can do in this country. The typical Liberian might not have that skill. When a Liberian have that skill, when a Liberian citizen has such a skill, automatically you are entitled to the job before the foreigner. So this is not a conflict between Liberians and foreigners. Brother Josh, you get me right? It should be about the government creating opportunity for Liberians to have more opportunities than the foreigners. That is what a government is ought to do. So you cannot have a government that is taking away contracts. Like I said, 97% of the procurement contracts in this country are given to foreigners. But Josh, even decoration events, decoration events are state events. The government can give it to foreigners. Decoration, even catering service to cook food, they can get out to foreigners. The government herself.
Okay.
So the government must start complaining. It's almost 3 to 4 years now. The Liberian people needs answer. The vice president sounded like a man who has absolutely no clue about governance. You came on the basis of solving issues. You can't be talking a regular to everybody, people talking, no, it's very own vice presidential. You can't be doing that.
I want you to listen to this comment from the vice president. And after which you will just respond, and then we'll move on to the appearance of the former president.
Yeah.
Former President Salif. She had an appearance this morning. But let's listen. I want you to listen to what his vice president said. I don't want people say, "Oh, I misquoted the vice president." This is exactly what he said.
Also from Nimba to be mindful of things like that.
Oh, okay, wait. I think I go low here. Okay. Okay, this is exactly what the vice president said. Let me get it from this end. Okay, this is it. I think you got it.
So the vice president is brave to say that people will start joking each other. So you see, like I said, the vice president is a living contradiction. You had a president who, after going to Guinea, admitted and recognized that the land belongs to Guinea. President Bouaké is aware. President Bouaké told the Senate. Remember President Bouaké? Is the legislature, right? President Bouaké told the Senate that the land belongs to Guinea. He's aware. The very same thing you see them running behind Yake for. That's why yesterday the other lawmakers said, no, we not remove Yake because of statement. We remove Yake because he disgraced the horse. And they flip-flopping now on their own team. That statement of the vice president, that was being tribalistic. It has the potential of instigating a war between Guineans who are in Liberia and people who are perceived to be Guineans.
How?
Oh, yeah. How the vice president say, when you bring war here, then we start killing each other here. Who want to bring war? Who?
The vice president feels that, when you talk about fighters, you talk about, fighters, not only people in arm. I mean, they have 2-3 persons. You don't want to mention name, but can leave and go to any other country and capture the entire city in that country.
And the first thing, it is a mockery and a confession. Here's how it is a confession. Remember, Botnike is the Director General of the Unity Party Rescue Soldiers. Oh, you don't know that? Ex-combatants under the banner of Rescue Soldiers. Botnike, a man who killed more than 10,000 Liberians, opened pregnant women's stomachs and took babies from there. Oh yeah, he works for President Bouaké and the Unity Party. He works for them. So that is one of the pressing the vice president is talking about.
No, the vice president.
No.
You just insinuating.
No, I'm not insinuating because you know what?
Hey,
listen to me. Botnike said that they got the ability to go Guinea and capture. Botnike said that. Brother George and fellow Liberians, we all saw Botnike. Botnike said that we can take our arms again and Guinea must be careful. We get men here. So for the vice president to come and confirm what Board Naked said, I think it is a confirmation that indeed the Unity Party is now working with ex-combatants, with dangerous rebel leaders who benefit from taxpayer money. As a matter of fact, we have been told that Board Naked is one of the directors at the NSA, and he takes more than $4,000 on that. That statement of the vice president to say that, oh, we get men a year for war. It tells that the vice president wants war. You listen to Councillor Gongo. It is very unvice presidential and irresponsible of the vice president on that. If the vice president was a serious man, the vice president should be having a conversation on the government solving and identifying the issues. But George, I have one person who believes that in this country, we don't get plenty of serious people here. You know why? We can lead the real issues and goes towards distraction. The issue of the Guinea border issue here is French humanity. Yeah, is it? March 17, the government of Labrador, and through the information ministry, ban all activities of illegal money into the Maconian River at the local board area, hereby a pending outcome of a comprehensive investigation by the national security. The entire Guinea border issue started when President Baker's nephew, Francis Yumane, went and unlawfully mined gold and diamond in the Maconian River. The Guineans seized the machine, the Guineans got angry and planted flare on Liberian soil. That was the start of the conflict, right? The vice president have never condemned this. But George, stage March 17, 2026. Today is April 29. More than a month. How far is the investigation? Francis Yumane have never been investigated. And he will never be, because you know what? He is a nephew of the president. So the vice president saw a Unity Party official in Francis Yumane, a governmental gangsters and terrorists who went and did unlawful money in the Maconian River that created a civil conflict that led to a land encroachment between Liberia and Guinea. The vice president have never asked for the investigation of Francis Yumane. Francis Yumane have never been investigated. But the vice president sat on the road and said, oh, and we're walking, and then we start killing each other in time here. And then at the end of the day, in a very simple press conference, the vice president is admitting that they get men, 4 to 5 men who can go Guinea. When 4 to 5 men can go Guinea and capture whole time, why the vice president cannot ask them to go join the army? When we get less than 2,000 men in the army, why the vice president refuse to send those men to protect our borders? So the vice president is telling you that the Unity Party and the government has reserved 4 to 5 men who are more powerful than the police, who are more powerful than the army, meaning they have more budgetary support. And I agree with the vice president. The truth, we have 4 to 5 men who can do such a thing for Unity Party, because you know what? The Unity Party invests more money into NSA, National Security Agency, and they give them 22.1 million, and they give the armed forces, the whole defense of the country, the whole defense of the country, they give them. It was 18, they have been increased now to 20.1 million, and the NSA get 22.1 million. So the whole defense has a lesser budget than the NSA, because in NSA you can do all the kind of things, and you empower the 4 and 5 men. So the vice president's statement is extremely reckless. It is insensitive. It is a war-doing term that contradicts the reality on the ground. Because mind you, this is a government wherein the president have gone to collect a peace award, a so-called tomato called peace award, where the government spent more than 1 million. It carried more than 30 persons, put them in business class, gave them DSA, spent more than 4 to 5 days in America. The peace award. But the peace award vice president now is talking that they have men, 3 to 4 men who can capture whole time. See the contradiction.
Let's move on. I mean, you listen to the former president in few minutes. I mean, she disagree with the decision taken by the House of Representatives. She have said, I mean, the state of Monrovia is completely dirty. You know, she admitted that she and the president, her former vice president, who's now the president, I mean, they don't talk.
The Unity Party, firstly, is the official ungrateful people party in Liberia. The Liberian people must know that, and they must fear the Unity Party. Unity Party is officially the ungrateful people party. I saw Unity partisans, government officials, one lawmaker called Fode Famole, insulting Ellen, attacking Ellen for making an honest statement. These are statements that we have said for the last 3 years. For Madam Salif to re-amplify these statements, that the ordinary Liberian people, any Liberian on the screen know that, for Madam Salif to re-amplify and confirm those statements, it means that the Bakekun administration has failed. It means that Unity Party is former ruling party, even though they are in power. I think that's stop chanting the owner. Because you know why? Madam Salif is one woman who is very careful with her voice and utterances. The city dirty? Is that not fact? Go send your screen right now.
What do you think?
No. It's not what I think. It's what the Liberian people think and what the Liberian people see. The Liberian people are saying that the city has, and the city has become so dirty and so filthy to the extent that the Monrovia City Corporation have blocked the main road at the center street.
Is it surprising? Are you surprised seeing this?
We have
under Joseph Boakai leadership.
We have never seen that before for the government in its inability to clean the dirt and the fleet and the garbage. The government inability to address and the garbage ambiguity in collection in the country.
The issue of Yeke Koluba.
For the government to block the rule.
She have said, I mean, the decision was wrong. It shouldn't have even been supported by the government, and a whole lot she had to say about.
Let me just say this though. If anyone think that Madam Salif was a wicked woman, President Boakai is a living example, an actual reference of Lucifer in human form. I re-emphasize.
What do you mean?
If anyone think that Madam Salif was wicked, President Boakai is the living example of Satan and Lucifer in human form. You know what I mean? Guess what? Almost all of the politicians in the country. This is funny when I say it. But anyway, I will say it. Almost all of the politicians in the country, if from the political class, now, they fear Madam Ellen Johnson Salif as a political Maradona. Almost all of the politicians in the country, they fear Madam Salif. And they believe that she is the political Maradona, right? But guess what? Madam Salif fear Joseph Boakai. All of the politicians in the country fear Madam Salif. But Madam Salif fear Joseph Boakai.
Hey, why you think? Why you think she fear Boakai?
Because Joseph Boakai is a living example of Lucifer in human form. Okay. No. Let me hear on the tongue. You think you got the phone now. He's ungrateful. People who feared this man yesterday, he turned their back on them. He's scorning. He's very aggressive. He appears calm but very prisoners. Gonna making new land. He cheat. That was a proclamation for people to start taking land all around the country. In a roadway, at the end of the day, people can use road to see. So, for Madam Salif to tell you about how Unity Party has suppressed freedom of expression in this country. You can see, on the aircraft removal, it has been to some of us. It's normal. That was a political horse. Anybody can be removed very much. We should get that. But the process of removal must be lawful and constitutional. So the entire Yeka process is a vindication of anger by the Unity Party to go after a man who has been critical. So Madam Sedi is right. The Yeke Koluba thing is unlawful. You know why? Because the legislature is not equipped to try criminal offenses. When you charge somebody for treason, that is a crime that can only be investigated by a lawful court according to Article 64 of the 1986 Constitution. So the force that should be making law is now a violator of the very law that is on the book. It is a shame. Manaseli is right. And you see, Manaseli is advancing the Unity Party in a serious and responsible government. We're listening to the former senator. As a matter of fact, Manaseli loves Unity Party. She is the best president in Unity Party history. Served as Senate Bureau for 12 years. Led Unity Party here. The first Unity Party elected president. So she loves her party. So nobody is advancing them, but somebody is down. If you go on Facebook, President Boake have ordered Unity Partisans and Daniel Sano to call Manaseli the backing door.
Okay, thank you. Our guest this afternoon is Fode Masakwe. Fode Masakwe is the chairman of the CDC Council of Patriots. You're listening to him. You have question, comments. You want to provide your own analysis. We can take you on 0773-419-502, 0773-978-564, 0773-419-502, 0773-978-564, 0773-419-502, or better still 0773-978-564, 0773-419-502, or better still 0773-978-564 are the numbers that put your voices through this afternoon on the show. Our guest is Fode Masakwe, and the cash giveaway is also on. Keep dialing *799*8#. You keep dialing *799*8#, and let's go. This person. Good afternoon, welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name, from where you call? 30 seconds. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Chief, and good afternoon to your guest.
Good afternoon. Let's hear you.
I'm Amos Kemokar, to join from the capital of South Africa.
Go ahead.
Well, thank you guys for your presentations in disclosed to the public, but all the issues concerning about Arizona Bernadette Cummings. You know, Arizona Bernadette Cummings, there are people that they not came in country to help Liberians. Because if you know that you want to be president, hello?
Go ahead.
Okay. If you know that you want to be president for the country, start doing things that people start seeing your hand mark. Because election shouldn't come close, then you say, oh, you won't be president, then you start rumbling a riot from community to community for people to vote for you. No, start carrying some development. Let people know that you want to do something better for Library. So thank you guys for your presentation, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, George.
Good afternoon, welcome. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Yeah, let me say hi to Fode Kamara. I'm Peter Derrick Castle. I come from under the street light in Lower Johnsonville.
Go ahead.
George, you see, this government came to power with a limited ideas. And that's why they want to crack down on and critical forces and that entire democratic society of the Liberian society. And it just is a very difficult situation because they are presiding over an educated and intellectual society. How would it and the people go out to protest, and it is articulated in Article 17 of our Constitution that once you have differences, you can go and petition the government. But you have one police director that is just referring around here like a rebel. And can talk about family. Which article within the Constitution that talk about family? Yesterday we saw Joseph Yima Bwaka, Yombri Kanga, Dara Dina, Mo Ali, Emotue were passed to the executive marshal and top of the capital building instead of going through there.
Thank you.
Nobody disturbed them. So I think they need to accept the dissenting view.
Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm patient grateful to go, George.
Patient, go ahead.
So, let me say hazard to Fode Masakwe and say sorry for the incident. So, what is generated sometimes that English you gotta cap it and less. They men that went to a thing, the men told you that he was tortured. Then you say LS. They say one is desperate. If you want torture, They put a lot of people. So no need to use the word alleged. The minute I went to appeal, the message was torture. This very common cancer. They are very, very desperate.
All right.
Their government is useless. Nothing to do with government people.
Thank you.
They criticize, or they want to criticize.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you. Are live on the show. Go ahead and make a point. We don't have time. We gotta go. Let's hear you.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm okay, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, quickly, I'm taking Kuba according to Blondie.
Kuba, let's hear you.
Yeah, just why one of the colors there, you see, Alexander Benedict Cummings, you want to be president, and the guy is getting international contact. So you want to tell me you'll be president before you start to bring infection in your
country? We're not even discussing Cummings. We're not discussing
Cummings. Sorry. So with respect to this government, even I agree. Even our former president, your reaction is going to be saying that Brentford by bringing party and bring a credible thing. But back to the issue quickly. Brother, you happy? You can now silence the critical forces at this time. Because it's the critical force that brought you to power. So to silence them is difficult. It's very difficult, brother. Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's get another person. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, George. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Okay, my name is Oliver Wadsworth Jr. So I joined your show this afternoon to come.
Go ahead.
And for the record, I am the vice chair for referendum research. Out of the level of working.
Go ahead.
So, George, the only thing that Chairman Ford committed April 14 was to protest. So the government has declared that if the protest now in Liberia, you are committed to tracing. So they will flog you, if possible, they will kill you. So tell me, I said, for me, say this. I think Chairman made a mistake by saying that Mr. Bwagari is a living example of demon or Satan. He is not a living example, he is a living demon. So everybody should fear Mr. Bwaka. Mr. Bwaka, it is a living demon. That even with a demon, they don't have horn when they see him, they run away.
Thank you.
So thank you for the show.
Thank you. Thank you. This person, hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Hello. 30 seconds. Go ahead. I'm okay. Go straight to the point. Let's hear you.
Yeah. I want to tell a studio girl, thank you for the massacre. You know, but John, let me tell you today, in this country that we are, the government is proceeding wrong on the citizens of this country. And let me tell Mala Eddie, Nancy Sadine, that statement is deleted because the time that they were moving Yaka Kolubane, they did it to Fonati Kofa. He never come out to say any statement. It remained at this. So that statement deleted. This kind of attitude in this country today is very wrong. How will you be sitting, you as a person, you violate all the law in the country? It is kind of, the people are telling on and say that rescue or that experience government, they don't experience government that distrust the government.
All right.
So thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. This person is our final caller. Hello, welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wayne.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Well, Mr. Wayne, see what we are going through in the country. I blame Manaseli. The reason I blame Manaseli is that Manaseli viewed very well this old man was very wicked, and she brought a problem to us as bad president. Nobody knew to talk about the country, but it's Manaseli who brought him because she wanted to vote for the poor local. So for her to be condemned back today, for me, I will have serious problem with her. She was a politician in the country. I said to for her political Arizona.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me squeeze in this president. The president has been so patient on the line. Hello, welcome. 30 seconds. Go straight to the point quickly. You are our final caller. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, good afternoon. Tell you, formula. Look, you know, you must that comment. That some of you people that you should arrest and place to back up.
Wow. Just shake up because we're not getting you. We're not getting nothing from you, please. We're not getting you. If I for it, I mean, you listen to the different colors. We gotta go. Just respond to the different chords and let's go quickly.
like you listen to and the sister, we were victims of the unfortunate situation. We know our own story. We can communicate our own story. What you saw, the brutalization on camera, was a very little and small one. They did worse than that. But it's not just about all. It's about the death of democracy in this country. As I speak to you now, mysterious death is more frequent than breast fire. Look at this girl. A very young girl. Patients got memorable, who their body was found at the 72nd. Very beautiful. As a matter of fact, we have had 668 mysterious deaths in the last 3 years. Accidents have become more frequent than anything. As I speak to you now, according to the police 3-month report in 2026, from January to March, or let's say April now, there have been more than 528 car accidents, taking away the life of over 83%. So, Brother George, we want to tell our people, the government impressing us to think that they can intimidate us, but we'll never be intimidated. As a matter of fact, we do not fear death. There are two things or two persons that I fear. One is God, because God has the automatic button. He can take away my life anytime. So I fear God. And the second person is myself. When you accept defeat and failure, then you have. So these are the only two persons that I fear. We do not fear death. Liberians now fear hunger. They fear rape. They fear sodomy. They fear the Bwake coup regime more than even death. Because this government continues to perpetuate poverty and suffering on the people. And we want to tell you, you do not wait for only elections to provide correction to constitutional violations. There will be no 2023, there will be no 2029 elections year. If the people continue to sit and complain, we are rallying, we are mobilizing. Very soon, we'll be working with all of the grassroots forces. We are about to start a nationalistic campaign that will hold the government accountable, and we'll call on President Bwake to either lead or leave. It's almost 3 years. President Bwake must lead or leave. Thank you very much for being here.
The flag of Liberia. And that's it, folks. We have to go. I mean, it's been a very wonderful edition here of the show, Bitz and Pieces, this afternoon. We had a guest, Fode Massaquel. Fode is the chairman of the Council of Patrons of the CDC. He has been our guest. The name is George. I'm George Way. Love the life you live the life you love. I mean, it's good to put God first in all of your decision-making processes. Bye-bye. I'm out. What's in your net? We will build our nation. All right, Liberia, all right.